Hi, thanks for visiting the channel. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that have been here since the beginning, thank you. I hope the Cantata videos answer some of the questions you may have, both about what's on the cartridges as well as what makes the machines tick. My only warning for those of you listening to the Cantata videos is to take breaks. Listening to some of them in their entirety will drive you mad. Trust me, I know. It's been a while since I last uploaded a video, almost a year, but I've been working on a few side projects and have sidelined the Cantata for other things. As you can see, the normal Cantata workspace is cluttered with other projects that may or may not get finished, or videos. We'll see. I've made this video both as a thank you and to answer some of the questions I've been receiving about the Cantata. Mainly, why do you upload these videos? What's the deal? Where do you get them? Etc. I originally started this channel to document road trips and participating in the Lemons Rally using a GoPro. It was never really that interesting, and it remained more of a curiosity and more for me to document these trips. When I saw the original Techmoan video for the Cantata about 8 years ago, I was immediately drawn to the idea of what was on these cartridges. At the time, browsing YouTube provided very little in terms of what content was on these cartridges. There were bits and pieces, but no one had uploaded a cartridge in its entirety. I felt it was something that could be accomplished using the limited tools available, and I decided to start looking for a machine and some cartridges. It took about 2 years to find a working Cantata 700, and more time to find somebody who could make the pinch rollers that could, fix it and make it work and make it reliable. The seminal video titled 3M Cantata 700 bracket 12-hour stream test bracket 60s background music was the first successful recording with the initial setup. I warn you, it's bad, it's the worst lit, worst audio, and the worst video, but for some reason, since day one, it has consistently been the most popular video on my channel. Don't know why, don't know how, I've tried to replicate it, it's just that's the one people land on, so be it. It turned out the dash cam setup that I built for the Lemons Rally and for road trips was ideally suited for recording the Cantata. The GoPro could record 24 hours non-stop using external power and output video via HDMI under ideal conditions. It's still the primary way I film all the videos for the Cantata. It's stable, it's reliable. It's not a glowing endorsement, it has other problems, trust me, but for the most part it has been useful for recording videos. In recording the Cantata, it always led to the question, why do you film the Cantata? Why not just use the audio? Originally, it was meant to keep track of the machine doing track changes and making sure that it did not jam. I could remotely stop the machine using an app control outlet and monitor it using a remote desktop solution. Later, it was just for style points. Instead of having a static image, it'd be something you could watch and admire. I also made it so that you knew audio was coming out of the machine. Part of the problem with some of these other purported 3M Cantata, I would say, audio snippets, you never know where they come from. Some of them sound too good to be from Cantatas, but you'll never know. After getting this setup working and getting a few videos together, it's turned into a Pokemon gotta catch 'em all problem. I had to have all the cartridges. I wanted to hear what was on them. It became not an obsession, but it's something that I wanted to see, I wanted to do. It was something that was, I would say, attainable. So from the first video, I was looking everywhere for cartridges. eBay, Goodwill, thrift stores, antique stores, you name it. I even had Google Alerts set on individual sites to alert me when a cartridge or machine turned up. And I used to, have auction wars with some of these, other people who were collecting this machine. My primary reason was because nobody else was uploading these cartridges. It got to a point where if I wanted to hear what was on them, I know other people out there would like to see what was on them. And the quality wasn't necessarily the best, but most people would be more concerned about what tracks were on there, what type of songs were on there, who was the artist, who was the band, etc. And a lot of my subscribers, especially the earlier ones, were very instrumental in documenting that. I just wanted to listen to the tape and that was it. But there's other people out there who are much, much more meticulous than I am. And I thank them for going through the trouble and documenting those tracks, time-stamping them and whatnot. So where are we today with the channel? I stopped uploading Cantata videos because they became frustrating. They weren't a challenge anymore because, technically I got the setup. It was already dialed in. I didn't really have to change anything. I just had to run the cartridges, for the most part. The machines themselves, they are reliable, but each one of them has moods. They're sensitive to temperature. They're sensitive to how much moisture is in the air. I mean, they're almost living, breathing entities, but, they're a machine, but they have their moods. Since the cartridges are so long, you need at least 17 hours of footage to capture all 4 tracks in their entirety. There are occasions where something will go wrong on the recording chain and you will need to start over. And you can't resume. You have to record all 17 hours again. So that's 17 hours of your life down the drain waiting for this machine. I mean, you're doing other things, but when you plan to edit over the weekend, suddenly your plans have opened up and you've got other things to do, which is both nice and doesn't really help the cause in terms of recording Cantata videos. The last video that was posted, the one from almost a year ago, needed 4 attempts to upload. 4 attempts to get a good recording and then editing and then uploading it. And it started to get to the point where I got tired. With very few new cartridges appearing on eBay and fighting the copyright strikes for every single cartridge. Every single cartridge you would upload would have anywhere between 15 and 35 copyright strikes. And there's no way to tell, and sometimes some of them would appear later on after the video had been released. It seemed like a good time to take a break, so I did it. About 6 months ago, I wanted to start working on the videos again, so I started working on other projects, videos, with the intention of changing the direction of the channel. Mostly some of the stalled PDA projects that I promised well earlier in the channel, and digital cameras. It's something that I like, and it's something I like to do. For the most part, it was off and on working on them. I mean, as you can see of what's on the table, things have been happening. But, I mean, it's more of, like, you get around to it when you get around to it. Now, this had remained the case until about 2 weeks ago. This is the first time I've fired this computer up. It's the first time I've turned on the recording apparatus. That's all because of, the enthusiasm you guys coming over from Tecmo or wherever you got a link to this channel. And it's really motivated me to start doing this again. So I'm very thankful that it's happened. I'm thankful that it's given me the motivation needed to start finishing some of these stalled projects. Unfortunately, many of them are not Cantata related. But if you are interested, I do hope you stay and watch some of them, because hopefully we have some related overlapping fields of interest. But as time goes on, for special occasions, Christmas of course, I will start firing up the Cantata again, just because of the demand and it seems to interest a lot of you guys, but I do appreciate you coming visiting the channel, and I appreciate you staying and watching. And if you are still here at the very end, still watching, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing.